All of you, hope you guys are great. So in the last video we have successfully completed our home page and all the components are looking absolutely beautiful together. So this is what we have done in the last video. You can see we are getting this error message because we haven't started our backend server, but we are calling the backend function. That's why we are getting this error. I'll show you how you can fix that. So what we can do is, don't need to worry about it for a time being. So you can see all the components are looking fine. Close this one simply and let's have a look on the component. If you click on the login, you can see we have the login. If you click on the sign up, we have the sign up. You can simply open up the model, upload a mod. You can select the image and here we have the pop-up. So you can see backend image is looking fine and you can upload all the details. You can close this one, you can disconnect, you can connect, and you can simply, right now we don't have any data, so it's error. So let's remove this one, reload the browser. Is still things are looking fine, but we don't have any data into our contracts. So what we can do, let's come back to the postman and let's come here, open the postman. And if we come here right now, you can see this is the get method. This is the endpoint we have built, and let's make a request. If we make a request, we are getting this error message because our backend is not started, and that's the problem we are facing in our front end. You can see here we are also getting 404 error. So we have to start our backend server, then we can easily able to fetch the information. So we come here and come back to this, close this one. All of these things are looking absolutely fine. So this is the entire home page we have. Open up your terminal, and this time we're going to simply stop the application and we're going to start our backend server and front end together. So simply come back in package.json file, and this time we have to run this particular command. So earlier we run this particular dev environment, but now we have to start this particular one. Start. This will not only start our front end, but it will also start our back end part. So simply type npm start and that will fix the issue. So this is the server file we are starting, and here we have done the configuration for the backend and the front end. So you can see next server handler, and this will start the server as well. And this is the package.json file. So let's type the command npm run start, or you can type simply npm start, both will work fine. And here we have started our backend server. You can see nodemon server.js file, and here we have running our application app running on port 3000. So looks pretty good to me, and database is also successfully completed. Now if you come back to the postman, if you make a request, this time we'll get the data. So let's make a request, and here we got this response. So right now we have this for the demo which I have created when in my other contract, and the same database I'm using here. So you can see right now we have 4 NFT in that particular database, and that's what I'm fetching here. So let's open the database. Let's come here. So let's click on the MongoDB cloud. Make sure to open it up. So here I'm back into my MongoDB cloud, and this is the project. Let's open this movie one, and here you can able to find the database. So click on this browse collections, and these are the 2 model we have, NFT model, and that we have this 4, and that's what we are fetching. So let's delete that all, because we're going to create together and we're going to upload together. So let's delete this one, delete this one, and we have to delete the image. So we have deleted all the NFT, refresh that one, and we have couple of users. So let's see how many users we have. We have 4 users. So let's delete the user as well and clear all the data in our database. Delete this one as well, delete the user, and here we have the user, delete that one. So our database is currently empty, we have nothing in here. Refresh that one and looks pretty good to me. Now what we can do is, let's come back to the postman, and this time if we make a request on our this particular NFT endpoints, we'll have nothing, we'll have 0, because everything we have into this. So looks fine. Now come back to the application. Let's start the application, reload it, and this time you will find that we don't get that particular error because our backend server is running and our application is also running. So this time we are not getting this error. If you do the inspect element, you will see we have couple of warning, and that's for the image tag. Don't need to worry about that because we have missed the alt tag. That's why we are getting this warning. If you come back to the 18 info, here we have the object. If you open that one, you can see this is the data we are fetching, and this particular data is coming from nft.js, and right now we don't have any NFT in our database. So we can easily able to call our database endpoints. And that's what you can see here we have in the Postman. So close this one. Looks pretty fine. Our application is running absolutely great. Now what we can do is, so things are looking pretty good. Now come back to the context, and this is where we are getting logging from. So we try to fetch the get all NFTs, and here we have this console log, and that's what we are console log here. You can see line 154, and we have nothing into that in our database. Looks pretty good. You can see we have no issues so far. All the data is absolutely fine. Now what we can do is, let's create couple of documents. So first let me upload an NFT. So first let me create an user. So click on the sign up and let's create a user. So this time I will say let's call Daulat Hussain. Let's provide an email ID. We'll say daulat@gmail.com. We'll type the password. Pass, and click on this. So we have provided all the information. Click on the sign up. Here you can see it's created very quickly. So we are logged into our application. You can see we have this logout button, and it looks pretty fine. Now if you go to this application, you will find the token we have stored in our local storage. So here we have the local storage, and this is the token we have stored, NFT API token. That's the one we have, and NFT token API. So if you remove that, we will log out from this application. Reload the browser, and you can see we are log out. So it's working fine. Now let's log in the user we have created. If you come back here in the database, refresh, and we have the one user in our database. So this is the user we have created. You can see the password is hashed. So that looks pretty good. Come back here. Now let's log in with the user, and let's type the email ID. So daulat@gmail.com, and the password is, you all know, pass. Click on login, and here we are logging to the application. If you do the inspect element, you will find that we'll have that the token we have stored in our local storage. So this is the token we got back. If you log out, this token will be removed, and here we are. So looks pretty fine. You can disconnect and you can connect. Right now you can see we have this MetaMask. If I simply log out, we are log out. If you reload the browser and it says connect, we still log in with the application with the backend. If you click on this connect, it's going to open up this, and you can simply pass your credential, the MetaMask credential, and log in. And here we have this avatar, the user avatar, and if you click on that, it will open the user profile. You will display we are displaying hardcore data, but you can display his data because right now we have hit this address. So it looks pretty fine. Open, close. We have the social media icon. That's all looks pretty good to me. Now let's create and upload NFT. So this time I'm going to pick my favorite image is this one. Click on that. You can see the background has an image, and here we have to provide the details. So we'll say the blockchain coder, and from here, by the way, all the source code, all the starter files is provided to you, and the final code here, so you can come and you can check it from here. And I have to provide the descriptions. Let's pick the email ID. So this is the email ID. I can take it, gmail.com, and pick a category. So I'll go with the, so this is one is artificial. So click on that and click on create, and here we have our loader. So it's taking, if you open the MetaMask, you can see it's going to open MetaMask very soon. Just wait. Here we have the MetaMask. We are taking 25 Medi 0.025 Medi coin for this NFT creation. Click on confirm, and this time the transaction is happening. The loader is loading. This will not only make the transaction in the contract, but it will also make the transaction in our API. So the data will store in both the location, in the contract and in the backend server. So here the transaction completed, and here you will find the data. You can see here we got the NFTs we have uploaded. Looks pretty good, and that's amazing. You can see no issues we have. Right now we have only one. If you click that, nothing will happen because we have only one NFT. And if you click on this, it's going to copy the address of the user. If you come here and you can paste here, okay, my bad. So we have to do the changes here. So what I will do is, if you click on this copy image URL, so if I paste here, okay, so it's displaying test. We have to feed the actual data. So come back to the our code editor. So we'll come back to the MongoDB and let me show you that the data we have here. You can see this is the one we have created and we have all of the data. And if you come back to the Postman, if you try to make a request to the server, you can see you will get the data, the one we have created. So it's displaying, we have in the backend, we have in the contract, and all of the things we have here. So it looks pretty good. Hope you guys can appreciate this. Let's come back to the code, and now we have to feed the actual data. So here we are. Let's go to the cart component. So let's close this one and close this context. Come back to the component and let's go back to the cart component. And here we have to do the changes. So here we have done all of the things. Now we have to actually feed the actual data. So let's remove this one. Let's uncomment this, remove this anchor, this dummy data. So all the data we have in this image variable, and that's what we are getting here. So if you come back here, and that's the data we are passing here. So here we have the images, all the data we are passing, and that's what we are receiving in our cart component. So here we have the ID is displaying. Now we have to remove this hardcode image. So let's uncomment this, remove this hardcode image, remove this one and uncomment this. So this is the image we have. Now we have to do the changes in the client. So uncomment this and simply remove this one. Let's come back here in the clipboard. So uncomment this and remove this one, the second one, and save it. Then we have to do with the same with the address of the user. Uncomment this one, and here we have to pass the all data and remove this dummy date. Then we have to uncomment the real ID and remove this one, save it. Then uncomment this one, the description, and remove this dummy description. Remove this one. Looks pretty good. Okay, let's uncomment this part as well and remove this one. Hope things are making sense to all of you guys, that what we are doing. And now we have our actual data in our cart component. If I come back to the application, reload the browser, you can see all the data is changed. All the data is changed. And here we have the real data. If you click on the image, if you come here, paste that, here we have the URL. If you hit enter, we got the URL. That looks fine. Now if you click on the user address, you will have the user address. Click on it, and here we have the user address. So looks fine. So the entire real data we have in the cart component. If you come back to the MetaMask, and if I switch my account to let's other account, so here we have in the 3, and let's create couple of NFT with the 3 account, so I can show you the filter. So select this particular one, and let's provide the detail. Now select the category nature and click on create. It is making the transaction. Just a moment. Here we have the pop-up MetaMask. Click on confirm, and the transaction is happening. So if you open the MetaMask, you can able to find all the details. So generally it's taking a little bit time because we are making 2 transactions, one on the blockchain, one, and the other one is on the backend. Backend one is happening very quickly, but the blockchain one is taking a little bit time. You can see that blockchain is still in pending, and here it will reload the page, and boom, you can see that here we have the 2 NFTs. If you refresh, we have the 2 NFTs. Just now the one we have created. If you come here we have the 2 one. Both were working fine. 2 different users have created this one. Now you can filter that one. So if you paste the address, you can filter that one. Okay, so let's, why it's not working? Copy that one and paste here. So the filter is not working. Can you guess why it's not working? Because we have to do something in our filter component. So let's upload one more before we actually do the changes. Click on confirm pen, and let's pass all the data. You can close that one. When you close, it will remove all the state variables. So if you select that one, okay, so let's select that one more time, and it's not working. Okay, not a problem. We have to reload the browser. Click on that one and select the image and click on open. You can see we have the image and we have the model. So let's create one more very quickly. Create, and we are creating one more with the account 3. Here we have the MetaMask. Simply confirm the transaction. We have this loader is loading, and the transaction completed. So just scroll down, and here we have all the 3 NFTs we have created, all the images looking absolutely fine, and here we have all the NFT looking absolutely fine. And so let's come back to the account 1 and reload the browser. Here we are looking fine. Simply click on this and paste here. It's not working. Let's come back to the code, VS Code, and now we have to get into the filter component, because there we have to initialize our functions we have built. So we are receiving all of the prop inside the component. Click on that, and here we have uncomment this one. Okay, so we have to simply bring this function to life, uncomment this one, then this one, and let's check what else we have to do. Things looks pretty fine, and now this will work fine. So reload the browser, and now you can copy the address and paste here, and you can filter the data, and boom, you can see the data is filtered. So filter is also working absolutely great. If you remove that one, the NFT will come back. If you click on this, copy this address, and this 2 images created by the account 3rd, if you paste that, you can filter that. So this is the user who created this. You can simply copy and you can paste the URL, and you can have the image. And here we have the 2. If you refresh that, we'll have the 3 NFT, because we have created 3 NFT. If you check the inspect element, you can see this is the responsiveness. It looks pretty good. It's 100% responsive. So far so good. If you click on this model, looks pretty good, and all these footers are looking absolutely amazing. You can simply copy. You can see it's 100% responsive. You can click and you can copy all the things. That's all happening in real time. Come back to the console, and here we have the object, and in that we have all the data which we are getting from the backend server. You can see right now we have these 3 NFTs we have created, and all of the data we have. So you can render the data based on the API or based on the contract. You have both options. Looks pretty fine. Looks amazing. So close this one, and with that we are done with this entire homepage. You can see everything is working absolutely fine. You can simply take the recent image, and looks good. So no issues so far. Come back to the code. So simply close this one, and all of things are looking good. And now we have to work on the other page, the image one, the detail ones. So let's start working on it. And that's the only thing I want to cover in this video. In the next video, we're going to start working on our image detail page. So let's move to that.